everyone. We're on page 237. You can see that there, 237. So this is the beginning of the writing section, exploring written English. So our first activity A, we have to read some sentences and decide which of these statements is true about the verbs that are underlined. After that, we're going to read a brief description about 4 different verb tenses in English. Okay, here we go. So it says, read the sentence and notice the underlined verbs. What action does each one describe? Match each sentence to a description. So A, many people had attempted to reach the summit of Mount Everest, but no one actually succeeded until 1953. Okay, take a moment to look at your options. Many people had attempted. Is this a series of events that occurred before another event happened? An event that was ongoing when another event happened? Or was it a habit that someone regularly performed in the past? Okay, so let's take a look. We have an event here. They succeeded in reaching the summit of Mount Everest in 1953. So we have one event here. And then we have many people had attempted. So we have lots of different events, lots of teams attempting climbing Mount Everest. So it's going to look something like this. So here's now. Okay. In the past, in 1953, we have people who were able to achieve climbing the summit. There they are with the flag, celebrating. Yay! Okay, 1953, they climbed the mountain. But before then, lots of other people had attempted the same thing. So I know had means it happened before the other event. So let's see. A series of events that occurred before another event happened. So a series of events would be all the other people attempting to reach the summit, and another event would be actually one team in 1953 reaching the summit. So, A, had attempted. Okay, B, after the accident, Wright, and that's the woman who was in the bus accident in Laos, Wright did 1,000 sit-ups a day in order to rebuild her muscles. So now we have the choice of 2 or 3. Is it an event that was ongoing or a habit that she regularly performed? She did 1,000 sit-ups a day. Yeah, okay, it's a habit that she regularly performed, right? She did. She did it over, she did it over, and over, and over again. Okay, the snow conditions were becoming dangerous, but the team decided to continue anyway. Okay, so here we have our timeline. So this is now. Oops. Okay, and we're talking about in the past. So snow conditions were becoming dangerous, but the team decided to continue anyway. So this is when they decided, they made a decision in a specific moment in time. But before then, during them, and presumably after then, the snow conditions were dangerous. So this is an event that was ongoing. That's the snow conditions when another event happened. The other event is the deciding. So that would be C. All right, so language for writing using past forms for narratives. A narrative is a story. That's what you're going to write. You did a beautiful job on your journals. They were amazing to read. So we're going to either take that story or another story that you want to tell that could have happened to you, to somebody else. It could be something you've watched on TV or a movie or you've read about. It doesn't really matter. But the point is you're going to tell a story using past tense forms. So first of all, it says use the simple past. No present. Use the simple past to describe a single past event or a series of past events or a past habit. Okay, so it could be I opened the door. That's a single past event that is finished, event that is completed. Or it could be a sequence of events. I went into the building. I climbed up the stairs. I opened the door. I sat down. Those are a sequence of series. Or it could be a past habit. She did sit-ups every day. So their example here is, back home in San Francisco, though, I faced new challenges. Okay, next one is past continuous, which is also sometimes called the past progressive. I don't know why it has two names, and I apologize, but some videos will use one name and some will use another. Grammar books are the same. They usually choose one or the other. They both mean the same thing. So past progressive. Progressive forms use the verb to be. So in this case, was or were. I was and he was. But you were, we were, and they were. It has the ing. All progressive tenses have the ing. And we make it negative with not. And this is for an ongoing event or an event that is interrupted by something else. So it says use the past continuous to describe an ongoing event in the past. So their example, in January 2000, photographer Allison Wright, 45, that's her age, was riding. So was, then the verb with ing, was riding a bus in Laos when it was struck by a logging truck. Okay, so she was riding, and in this case, chain this back to its original position, she was riding along in the truck when something interrupted her riding permanently. It was struck. Okay, next one is use the past perfect, and we've studied this. This is when the woman arrived at the station, the train had already left. Use the past perfect to describe an event or events that happened before another event or time in the past. Okay, events that happened before another one. So, when I walked into, I don't know, the street, it had rained for 3 hours. So, past perfect to describe events that happened before. So here's their example. All four had, and with past perfect, we use the verb have in the past tense. So we use had for all people. I had, you had, we had, they had, she had, doesn't matter. Everybody's had. And then the past participle, which if it's a regular verb is ed, or it could be a regular verb. So I had eaten would be irregular. I had talked would be ed, regular. All four had attempted to climb K2 climbs before they had attempted, but no one had yet reached the peak. All right. So they're standing in the present moment, and they're saying they had attempted, but they had not yet reached. And the last one, past perfect continuous. Oof, goodness. So this one, oh, that's the wrong one. Here we go. Past perfect continuous. Okay, so we formed this one with had, because it's a perfect tense, and it's a past perfect tense, had. And then we use been instead of was or were, because it's in the past. And then we use ing because it's continuous or progressive. Okay, so had been. I had been listening to the radio when the power went out. So this is similar to the past perfect. It just means that something was ongoing. So something happened before another event. It might be background information. Okay, so here they say, use the past perfect continuous to give background information about an ongoing event that happened before another event or time in the past. So for example, Kaltenbrunner had been hoping, that's not something that happens once, it's a continuous process, to ascend all of the world's 8,000-meter peaks, and her dream finally came true in 2011. So this is when her dream came true, but before that, she had been hoping. And both those things happen in the past. Woo! Good job, everybody.